Good morning and welcome to Saving the Investor on this Sunday morning. I am here at the Advantage Retirement Group. I'm Craig Wolf alongside certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Good morning, Alfie.
Good morning.
You know, they say the timing is everything.
Yeah.
Bad timing can also be everything.
Yeah, you got good timing and bad timing.
That's right. Let's say you retired and then the market tanked. That's obviously a problem.
That's bad timing.
What do you tell your clients, your customers, your potential customers about how to avoid bad timing? What are the strategies?
You know, it's tough to avoid it because the market you don't control. But what you do control is your income. So regardless, that's why I preach it, I talk it all the time, that your income cannot just come from your portfolio. And there's many times that you retired. I've heard of people retiring and then it was a month later. It could be 4 months later, then the market goes down drastically. Something makes it go down and then they panic. And then what do? Well, sometimes they want to go back to work, but you don't want that. So a good plan is in place. You have to take in consideration that the markets are going to do its ups and downs, but you have to make sure you have a portfolio that's not all tied into the market. You got to make sure of that, because if it's all tied into the market goes down 20%, you're going down 20%. You can't have that. The market goes down 20% based on your age, based on the way you answer the questions that we do when we ask these risk assessments. It might go down 6%, 8%, but it's not going to go dollar for dollar what the market goes down. So that's number one. But the other thing is make sure that your income is coming from something that is not driving. When the market goes down, your income is not going down proportionally, or your portfolio isn't going down proportionally. So income planning, Craig, is the most important part of financial planning. And I would say, doing this over 40 years, that's what, when I see people come into the office, I say that's one of the main things they lack. And it's not their fault, it's their advisor's fault, because the advisor doesn't have a written income plan in place for these people. And that's what you need. You need to know what, your income. If the market goes down, is my income going down? Where's this money coming from? Where is it reducing my holdings that I have? So that's reverse dollar cost averaging, taking money out of a down market. So there's a lot of things that come into play. So I would say that's what we're best at here at the Advantage Retirement Group, because we know how to create income. We have accounts that are making 8, 12, 15% that isn't really tied to the market. It's somewhat tied to the market, but it's not in the market going up and down like a yo-yo. So there's buffers in there. You got to have buffers. We have some serious buffers in our accounts that protect the accounts from going down. So this is something that you have to be aware of.
Does it fall under the umbrella, essentially, of managing risk?
Well, when you look at that, you have to have, what your risk is. By doing the risk assessment, we know exactly, what you can handle, what you can't handle. Our risk assessment isn't pick a number between 1 and 10. It literally goes through. It was put together by a team of psychologists, so we know what your risk number is.
Team of psychologists.
A team of psychologists. I'm not one. I feel like I'm one sometimes, but so we want to know what the risk is, but we also want to know that there's some things that we have, some instruments that we use, some vehicles that we use for income planning that other advisors don't know about, or they're not allowed, they're not able to offer it. But these are things that will give you income with protection, and regardless of what the market's doing, you're going to be okay with this part of the money. And it's paying out good. And we're not, a lot of times you're not getting into your principal at all with this money. And you have to be willing to hold it 1 to 2 years for this income. You can do up to 3 years too, and get your money back, and then we do something else. But we look at income, we look at your portfolio, we look at different strategies to protect your money, because that's the important part. When you just retire and the market tanks, that's an awful feeling.
Yeah. Right.
And you don't know when that's going to happen.
Right.
You don't know if you're about to retire. You better have a plan in place, because it's better to be the plan on that happening and it not happen than not have a plan and it does happen.
Yeah. All right. Good information.
Yeah.
Can't avoid bad timing, but to manage your exposure to it as best as possible. That's what Alfie does. To learn more about that, give him a call here at the Advantage Retirement Group. There is more to come this morning, so stick around.